Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the Different Stripes Challenge. So mine's going to be a little bit different, and that is because so many times we hear about the continuous downward slope or spiral that many people end up in with EDS. Well, either I've been lucky or I happen to get with the right people, the right doctors, whatever else. But I've had the opposite experience. So my son and I were both diagnosed within a week of each other, as I've talked about before. I was horrible by that point. I could not get out of bed for more than a couple hours at a time. It was a struggle to make it to doctor's appointments, get my kids to doctor's appointments, different things like that. I had to fight to even live at all. Well, time went on. Because of my diagnosis, my primary care got me in with a internist after some issues. I mean, I had some issues from it, but we'd been looking for answers before, and he was as determined as me to find answers. And the internist started me on Zenpen. That increased my stamina by a little bit, stopped me having blood sugar issues. That allowed me to then start working slow on improving. And by then I realized I had to work slowly. Well, in December, I started into physical therapy. And I am at a point now that a year ago, if you had told me I would be at this point, I would tell you there's no way. Not with everything I was seeing on the message boards, not with everything I was hearing, everything else. While I am not back to where I was before, I would like to get there and maybe even get farther. It is very possible, and it seems likely that I might be able to. At the same time, my son is out doing things that there was question a year and a half ago if he would be able to be doing. He's busy 6 days a week, 7 days a week, often either on his feet or at least up, moving around, serving others, different things like that. He's on a mission for our church. And that is something that, from talking to people, a lot of people are like, well, if he was bad, there's no way he's going to be able to do that. But he's been able to find a doctor there who cares about him and is taking care of him and is keeping him at a point where he can continue serving for our church. That includes a lot of service and a lot of time meeting with people, and either on your feet or in a car, different things like that. And it's working out for him, which I'm grateful for and he's grateful for. He's learning a lot while he's there. And I'm sure he wouldn't trade this opportunity for the world. And I'm grateful that he was able to find a doctor who understood him and could explain his needs to other people who need to know his needs to be able to help him live the best quality of life he can. At the same time, I'm looking at my daughter who was starting to head down the slope. We've been able to stabilize her. She hasn't got better like me and her brother have, but she hasn't got worse. And I have another two sons who, the one was just diagnosed, and it took him going down the slope to get diagnosed, to agree to get diagnosed. The other one, he starts sliding. We get him into care, start treating, and he stabilizes for a while. And then he'll start sliding again. I don't know if that'll rebound, but it happens. So each person has a different story. As I've said in a previous video, I'm sure both my parents have EDS, and they're able to function amazingly, doing more than most people their age are doing. In the late 60s, my grandma, who I'm sure had EDS, was caring for people her own age and younger than her when she was in her 70s. And yet she likely had EDS. So each person, how it manifests for each person is going to be different. Thank you for your time.